exposing all the fraudulent spending going on in Congress. You and my hard-earned tax dollars going to waste. After watching this video, I just had to share because, you know, most of us, or many of us, are working hard. We work hard. Most of us have to go to work tomorrow morning. We get paid. They take a good percentage of your paycheck for taxes. And I'm not opposed to taxes. I am opposed to some of the personal income taxes, IRS taxes. That's another story for another day. But I'm not opposed to taxes because we have to keep our society running. But when we look at what the spending is going towards, our hard-earned money, and many of us are in debt up to yin-yang, it's absurd. I'm going to play this video, and I'll come back with a little bit of commentary at the end. But watch this video.
Silence filled the Senate chamber, and Senator John Kennedy did what no Democrat expected. He took a political sledgehammer to Chuck Schumer and the Biden-era spending machine, standing squarely behind President Trump's demand to slash wasteful government spending. With a scorching rebuke, Kennedy called out billions wasted overseas on bizarre projects, pastry classes in Haiti, insect powder in Madagascar, even funding for sex workers abroad, while American families struggle to afford groceries and gas. Tonight, we break down the fiery moment when Kennedy left Democrats speechless and exposed the hypocrisy behind their spending responsibility talk. In a calm but lethal tone, Senator Kennedy announced that President Trump is sending a rescission bill, calling for a tiny cut in the $7 trillion budget, just 0.1%. But that 0.1%, it exposed something Washington feared: waste nobody wants to defend publicly. Let's dive in.
I want to say, Mr. President, next week, President Trump's going to send us over what's called a rescission bill. What does that mean? Well, we've got a $7 trillion budget, okay? I don't know how much of that $7 trillion is waste, but every fair-minded person would have to agree that there's some money being spent in that $7 trillion that shouldn't be spent. Just shouldn't. It's wasted money. And so President Trump and this Congress made one of its objectives trying to reduce spending. Not spending that we need to reduce, but spending that needs to be reduced. I call it spending porn. And the president has sent us a bill. He's saying to Congress, I want you to reduce spending in the current budget by $9.1 billion. And let me tell you what the spending, what constitutes the spending I want to reduce. Well, first, $9.1 billion out of a $7 trillion budget. We're not talking about a lot of money here. We're talking about 0.1%. That's all. That's point one. Point two, you need to look at what the president's asking us to cut out. I'll just give you a couple of examples. I didn't make this up. The president is saying we're giving $3 million to Iraq to produce Sesame Street.
$3 million to
Maybe
Iraq.
we could use that money for something else.
For
The
Sesame
president's
Street.
saying we're giving $3 million to Zambia for circumcisions and vasectomies.
I believe a kickback is going
The
on.
president's saying we don't
This
need
is
to do
absurd.
that. We've got other problems.
This is absurd.
We're giving $500,000 to Rwanda to buy electric buses.
Kickbacks.
The president's saying to us, Congress, we don't need to be spending money
Somebody's
on that.
funneling money.
There are more important things. We're spending $67,000 to give insect powder to kids in Madagascar. I don't even know what insect powder is, but the president's asking us to cut it out. We're giving $3,600,000 to Haiti for pastry cooking classes, for cyber cafes, for dance focus groups, for male prostitutes.
Absurd.
The president's saying, I don't think so. I don't think that the American people support giving their hard-earned money to male prostitutes in Haiti. So he's asking us to cut it out. He's asking us to reduce the budget by $833,000 because some of President Biden's bureaucrats gave a contract to transgender people, sex workers, and their clients in Nepal. The President's saying, I don't want to do that. And he's right. That's enough. You get the idea. That's why I call it spending porn. Triggers your gag reflex. You look at the stuff and you go, what in God's name? Who decided to do this? Well, Congress didn't. The bureaucrats did. It's money we appropriated, but we didn't tell them to go spend money, $833,000, and give it to sex workers in Nepal. They just took the money we appropriated and used it for that. And so the president is asking us to do what's called a rescission, to cancel the spending. Now, I have listened, I've been here 8 years, Mr. President, and I've listened to a whole bunch of people talk about the need to reduce spending. But you got to watch what people do, not what they say. Because talk is cheap. And around here, I've learned pretty quickly that reducing spending, it's like going to heaven. I want to go to heaven. I bet you want to go to heaven, Mr. President. I bet our guests in the gallery want to go to heaven. But everybody wants to go to heaven. Raise your hand if you're ready to take the trip today. Most people, you are, sir, and I admire that, but most people want to live a little longer. And that's the way it is with reducing spending around here. I want to reduce spending. I support it, but not just yet, because I've got this project.
The president is asking for $9 billion in rescission to a $7 trillion budget. $9 billion into $7 trillion is like nothing. What can we do in this country with an extra $9 billion going to people who need, families who need, people who pay hard-earned money, people who work every day, who's trying to make a living? What can $9 billion do to this country? A lot. So I just want to expose some of the things that's going out there and cancel out some of the lies that's being told that the president is trying to hold back SNAP programs. He's trying to get the wasteful spending out of our country. And for those of us who work hard, who work 40 hours a week, 50 hours, 60 hours a week, who work hard and we pay a lot of taxes, we want what's best for this country. I don't mind helping the world, but we got to help our country first. And once we secure our country, then we can help the rest of the world when that time comes. God bless.